A very good morning to you wherever you're watching us from. I would like to welcome you to the Embakasi Garrison, where today we are celebrating the KDF Day. And of course, this is a day that had started to be put in the calendar in October of the year 2012 to celebrate the gallant and valor of KDF officials, or officers rather, who pay the ultimate prize during their mandate of protecting the territorial integrity of our country, Kenya. Of course, hosting us today is none other than the General Officer commanding the Eastern Command, Major General Juma Mwinyikai. Very good morning to you, sir. Happy KDF Day. So let's just go straight into it. The KDF Day celebrations, how significant are they?
First of all, the KDF Day is celebrated on every 14th of October since the year 2012, every year. And this day is very, very critical and important to KDF and the country as a whole, because it's on this day that the Kenya Defence Forces crossed over into Somalia to pursue the Al-Shabaab terrorists. So this day is a commemoration and also a celebration for our gallant heroes and heroines who paid the ultimate price in the defense and protection of the territorial integrity of the Republic of Kenya.
This year's theme is One Force, One Mission, enhancing regional and national security. How has KDF contributed to this year's theme?
This theme resonates with the mandate of KDF, first of all, in that for One Force, the mandate of KDF, as I had said earlier, is the protection and defense of the territorial integrity. And so in having One Force, our mission is one also, and the synergy of the three services delivers the mandate for the Republic of Kenya. In the national, for enhancing national security, internally, KDF, as you know, is deployed in the North Rift. It is in Lamu, in areas of Boni. Then in the region, it is in the African Transition Mission in Somalia. We are contributing troops in the MONUSCO, the United Nations Mission in Democratic Republic of Congo, and also for the East African Community Regional Force. So we're contributing nationally and regionally for security.
Okay. And you did speak about KDF troops entering Somalia. So a decade later, after the KDF troops have been deployed to Somalia, what has been the significance of them being there, and what are some of the successes that they've realized while being deployed there?
A lot of achievements, first of all, to say, the least a decade, as you say, but a lot of positives, and mostly is the peace in Somalia, because peace in Somalia means peace in Kenya and peace in the Horn of Africa. So the quiet pacification of different areas in Somalia, in areas of Beleskokani, Afmado, Tabda, Doble, and in the southern sector, in Sector 6, in Kismayu, for the Operation Sledgehammer, then in areas of Kudei, Burgavo, all the way to Raskamboni. So the Somali people have gone back to their normal way of life, and that is the success story of our deployment for over a decade there.
During the deployment, of course, there's the unfortunate incidents where we lose soldiers in the line of duty, and of course it's something that takes a heavy toll on anyone. So a decade later, after deploying troops in Somalia, perhaps, how many officers have we lost more so in Somalia?
First, I want to say that that KDF, we are resilient. Is a resilient force, a resilient organization, and we are able to deliver on our mandate. However, anytime a general puts troops to battle, we expect that they'll go safe and all come back safe. but sometimes unfortunate things happen. Here we're looking at if it happens that way, we have structures now, organizational structures, welfare structures to take care of the families. So even the loss of one soldier is very, very heavy on us. But what is critical is the resilience we put for the bigger picture, that we need to be more resilient as we are, so that we can deliver on our mandate. So that is it. Unfortunately, it happens, but when it happens, then for us, we have to take care of our families, take care of the welfare of our soldiers, take lessons learned, and ensure that we deliver on the mandate in the long run.
Away from the losses, of course, there are the success stories, going to a forward operating base, taking control there, and then handing it over to either the National Army there or the police force to take over. So what are some of the areas that the KDF forces were able to take control of? And then after handing them over, for example, maybe in forward operating bases, is there freedom in these areas?
Yes, there is. As I said earlier, there are very, very good success stories. First of all, Kenya Defence Forces, as part of the ATMIS, mentors the Somali National Army and in general the Somali security forces to be able to take over security responsibilities. And so the success story is that in areas which we have pacified, we have been able to work hand in hand with the Somalia security forces, and they have been able to continue and pacify in areas of Guerrilla, which has been handed over. There is still peace, and the Somali citizens have gone back to their economic activities and nation building.
Last year at a time like this, I was able to travel for a media embed with the Africa Transition Mission in Somalia, and of course we were able to see the different areas and aspects that they've been helping the Somali National Army, and of course capacity building the police force. So how will the complete drawdown of the ATMIS forces from Somalia affect regional security?
Ultimately, the security responsibilities for Somalia will depend on the Somalian security institutions. So gradually there's been mentoring, there's been training, and gradual handover to the Somalia security forces, and so that means it is a gradual process. And that process now, as it has taken quite some time, but it is a process which the capacity building, the capability building is on course, and within the time frames given by the international organizations and the national organizations and the regional bodies will be able to hand over power, and there will be smooth transition, and peace will prevail in Somalia.
And of course, as times do evolve, so does terror. So in the wake of evolving changes in terror, of course, we have the evolution of cybersecurity. So how has KDF trained their officers or capacity built itself to be able to respond to such threats?
Definitely the threat is evolving. That is a fact. But it is also a fact that also we are not static. And so we consider the global threats, the global trends, study them, come up with solutions, implement those solutions, employ techno-savvy personnel also to get into our defense forces to be able to counter the threat. But the end of it is that we need every time to be in front of the ideas of the enemy, and this we've been able to do. And so it will be an evolving situation, which we are ready to take as the global threat also mutates.
Let's talk about the communities where KDF has been able to gain ground on, especially in Somalia. So, of course, there is what KDF does. So how have the communities there been able to benefit from different programs that KDF has incorporated them in? And perhaps what are some of the biggest successes that you can say, like in this particular community, we've been able to do this and the community is living off of something that KDF did?
Yeah, there have been good engagements with the population. And there are also activities, what we call civil-military cooperation activities, to be able to win the hearts and minds of the communities. And this has resonated well in all areas we have operated. But we can give examples of handing over of agricultural activities and showing how agriculture is done so that people can change their lives. In the health sector, we've been able to do medical camps to be able to also assist the locals. Also, we've been able to construct or build schools, classrooms, and interact very well as at now with the local communities. So all these the CIMIC activities have had a very positive impact on the population.
Given the impact that it has on the population, is there a general feeling that now the local communities are more receptive toward KDF officers and are willing to volunteer information that might aid in the war against the enemy?
That's what I said, that the civil-military cooperation is an aspect of winning the hearts and minds. And once that is done, then we've been able to get critical information on the enemy, and we've been collaborating very well with the population, and we've been able to do surgical and targeted operations out of the information we get from the locals. So everywhere we have been operating, we've really appreciated the locals, and they have worked with us very well.
And finally, as we finish this, to every officer that will be watching today, of course, in celebrating this day, what would your message be for not just the ones that are watching today, but for the families of the officers that have also lost their lives in the line of duty?
First of all, to actually appreciate our families for supporting us in the work we do, and also the Kenyan citizens for that. But for ourselves serving, we can only become more resilient. Ensure that we're resilient, ensure that we do all we can so that we are able to deliver on the mandate of protecting our sovereignty and defending the territorial integrity of this country, of our motherland. And so I'm calling all of us, all the military fraternity, to come together as we have, as the motto says, one force, one mission, and be able to deliver to the people of Kenya those aspects of sovereignty and territorial integrity.
All right. Thank you very much, Major General. Of course, the message is home: one force, one mission, and protecting the national and regional security. We've been speaking to Major General Juma Mwinyikai. Let's go back to the KDF celebrations. My name is Yusuf, Farah.